Back to the weekly crits. Trying something a little different today. I'm gonna break down the race into different sections. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think, if this is interesting and I should keep doing this or not, if we go back to what we were doing before. So another weekly crit here in Boise. The start obviously always super fun and unpredictable. We never know if it's gonna start fast. You just hear me talking a lot in the back and complaining or just telling people not to go fast. I don't know, the usual. So first part here is going to be the first attack, obviously, and that happens not in the first lap, but I think the second lap. So here we go. The first attack, someone goes off the front. I can't really tell who it is from back here, but everyone gets out of the saddle and starts putting down some serious power, mid 700s for me, which is, you know, the power that you use to follow an attack, pretty much. So yeah, first attack usually doesn't stick because everyone's still fresh and ready to follow that. Nonetheless, it's hard and does a good job of stretching out the group and sometimes even dropping a guy or two. So we're at lap 3 here still. This is going to end up being 40 plus laps in this crit, which adds up to 50 minutes. This is a 1-2-3 crit. Here we go into the second attack. Second attack goes from Cameron right in front of me. I follow him because I saw it coming a few seconds before and felt like it was a great opportunity to give myself a chance of being in the break. I didn't realize that he was chasing these two guys that were up the road. And once we caught them, everyone else behind stayed with us as well. So that's that for the second attack. Funny enough though, right here in this back straight, which is where we had the tailwind, Cameron goes again. I decide not to chase, and people just kind of let him go up the road by himself. Yeah, I felt like one guy alone wasn't enough of a reason to chase. And here we go, the breakaway. Remember that Cam is up the road, and now you see in the review Nick go to bridge up to him. I believe a couple more guys go for it. I just see Rowan on the right as I complain to the birds to chase that back. So two of them do go chase back, but they bridge instead of bringing the group, which is very smart. I should have gone with them, and I regret not doing so. Instead, I just go to the front of the group for some reason, and suddenly there's a 4 very strong man breakaway group in the breakaway, something like that. So here I am at the front of the group doing 500 watts as DJ attacks on the left and bridges up to those guys. And lap 7, that is the breakaway. 5 guys up the road, which turns into frustration station for me. You heard me there complaining. I was feeling pretty good for the first time in a while, and the chase would not get organized. So I asked for help. This guy here does go to the front and is helpful, and kind of there was hope there for a little bit to get a chase organized. I go to the front, do my part, and when it comes down,
what are you doing?
The next person, Greg, attacks because his 2 teammates are up the road, so he has no reason to be helpful. I complain, of course, because when I'm feeling good and things aren't going my way, I complain, and that's what crit racers do. That might make some people upset. Well, we don't do that, but we do that. Just admit it, it's fine. So yeah, go to the front again, do my part. Greg's on my wheel again, which means he's not going to pull or be helpful. And I'm getting frustrated.
We're getting close, come on!
You can see the breakaway right in front of us. And that's pretty much the closest they ever got, or the closest we ever got to them. And now you see Bob's here.
We're not gonna catch him like that. It's useless.
Yeah, attacking the chase group.
Stupid.
and I'm just getting very frustrated because I believe that if we worked together, we would have caught them. You can see them up the road. In solo, someone might bridge and then get that they're tired, which happens with Greg, who's chasing now. He does bridge up to the break, gets there too tired, and ends up getting dropped back onto our group. So the best way for us to catch that group would have been to work together. But then again, Kelsey, who's in front of me right now, has a teammate there. Greg has 2 teammates there. Everyone else is an individual except for the 2 bots guys. They should have been very motivated to chase. They didn't really do a very good job at that. So I decided to go for it and try to give it a shot for me to bridge to the breakaway. So I put in a solid attack on the group. I get a gap. We're lap 19 here, which is just before halfway, more or less. So I put in a pretty solid attack, and I pushed hard for a couple laps to see if I was gaining on them. You see, doing almost 700 watts on the straightaway here just by myself, pretty consistent. And then I see where it takes me for a couple laps, trying to hold threshold power, if you will. And unfortunately, I'm not getting close. And once I realized that, I kind of let off the gas, and the group behind catches me. So then I decide I'm just going to chill behind and wait for the finish, because there's 5 guys up the road. First 6 get points. We get lapped here. You see those 5 guys that are on the breakaway catching us behind. Ben leading them as they catch us, sends it, which is a very smart move to try to get a gap and pretty much assure the win, as we are like 10 minutes or so from the finish. So he does that. Gets a little bit of a gap, but for some reason, the guys in my group decide to chase him. No idea what that was about, because those guys were pretty much helping the breakaway guys. Then Kelsey does put in a big effort to bring those front 2 guys back to help Nick here on the left, which works out and kind of brings the group together for all of us. So then, as we're getting close to the finish,
In the end, I got you.
You hear me there telling Ben that if we're together in the end, I got him. I'd like to think I'm a pretty good sprinter. That's Ben right there. And I think Ben trusts that, so I told him I'd lead him out for the sprint to get him the win, because he's only a couple points away from upgrading the Cat 1. And regardless, if I won the group, the group sprint, if you will, I'd get a point. So here I'm just trying to do the best lead out job possible. You see in the back camera, Ben get around Cam to get on my wheel. I just trusted that he would be on my wheel for these last 3 laps, and then I just did my best to give him the best lead out possible. So you see here there's about 4 guys in front of us. We're about to hit 2 to go. These are pretty short laps, so I need to start moving up. And you see here, I start slowly with little energy going on the left. I see Kelsey coming on the left, which I assume he's gonna go help Nick, who's up there, and he's, again, a lap ahead of most of us. So I get on Kelsey's wheel to help Ben, and of course Ben is on my wheel. I tried to get Kelsey's wheel from Nick on the right here. He doesn't really fight me too much for it, so I stick to it, and then kind of ruins his lead out a little bit. That's just racing. Sorry Nick. But so then you see here on the left, Greg coming, who I think he was trying to help Ben, but I knew I could do it myself and didn't really want to have that messed up. He fights for Kelsey's wheel. I don't really let him get that, because that's just the perfect wheel for me to have as we get to 1 to go. So we're about to enter the last lap. I'm in perfect position, and you see Rowan sends an attack. I put in a little effort, but Nick on my right puts even a bigger effort. So as soon as I see that, I let off the gas a little bit, because I see that he's going to close that gap. So I get on his wheel, Ben's on mine. At this point, I'm 3rd wheel, Ben's 4th. We're about 3/4 of a lap to go, and the gap is closing to Rowan. I put in really big dig on the back straight. before we hit the chicane. I get to the second to last corner in front of him. I'm doing the chicane way faster than Rowan is ahead of us. As we enter the back straight, I'm pretty much on his wheel. I put in a dig to close that, and Ben comes around me for the sprint. I tell him to send it. He's coming in really hot, and even though it doesn't look like it here, he throws the bike and he ends up getting the win. So I'd call that a success. Then I got myself a point too, which is awesome. So Ben's got his one upgrade and I got a point, and we'll see you guys next week.